Hello everyone, my name is Kian and I am the Associate Director of Operations here at ACE in Flagstaff, Arizona. And today we're going to be talking about day packs, backpacks in general, and what you will be taking into the field with you each and every day. And I want to start by talking about packs. Of course, there's a huge variety of packs that you can get and a huge variety of sizes. For what we're doing here at ACE, packs about this size are not going to be large enough. This is a very small pack, probably only 10 or 11 liters. This is a 22-liter pack, you know, kind of that high school style kind of backpack. We carry a lot of stuff, which we're going to go over in a little bit, and it's not going to fit in packs either of these sizes. You need something a little bit bigger. Once we get to a backpack about this size, we're getting closer to what you're looking for. This is a 33-liter pack, and you notice it has the top loader, as well as some larger side pockets and a fair amount of space on the inside. This size pack this big is going to be better for you. The other thing you're going to want is that this pack really doesn't have is the hip straps. It just has webbing. So you're going to want proper hip straps for your backpack. Also take into account how thick the shoulder straps are. You are going to be carrying a fair amount of weight with you, so you're going to want something that's comfortable and then that has hip straps that's actually going to support some of that weight from the hips as opposed to carrying all on your shoulders. So I had one large pack here as well. This is a 75-liter pack. This would be something that you would want to take if you were going in the backcountry. Now, we don't always do backcountry hitches. Most of the time we're in the front country. This is not necessarily something that you need on your first day here. This could be something that you can get when you're here if you're interested or if you end up on a backcountry hitch. They can be very expensive. I mean, you're looking $200 to $300 for a nice big pack. And if you're gonna get one, I do suggest that you spend a little extra money and get something nice. Osprey is a good brand for packs. Gregory makes really nice packs. Deuter, North Face, and REI all make really nice packs. Osprey and Gregory both have lifetime warranties on their packs, so that's a really good selling point for them. A lot of our folks will bring their clothes in a pack this size and then have a day pack like this to take each day into the field, but they keep their clothes, their sleeping bags, things like that in a larger pack. You can do that. I personally just bring all that kind of personal gear in a duffel, so I don't need this big pack in the field. I only take this out in the backcountry. Here we have my day pack. Now, my day pack is a 65-liter pack, which is larger than it needs to be. I think you're from the 30 to 40-liter range, you're gonna be just fine. I do like the big pack. One of the reasons I really like it is it has big shoulder straps that are thick and big hip straps. You're gonna be very comfortable. You're gonna pull that nice and tight, and you know, even if I have 30 or 40 pounds in here, I'm still gonna be relatively comfortable. What I wanted to talk about here is what you'll have in your pack, what you need to carry with you each day that you're in the field. And there are 4 essentials. The first is your food. You're gonna need to carry all your food with you for the day. You'll make your lunches either the night before or the morning of, and then all that goes in your pack, and out you go. You will not be coming back to camp during the day at all. So from 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., you'll need to have everything for the whole day. So, food is gonna consist of a lot of different things. You know, you have sandwiches, there'll be fruit, there'll be granola bars, salty snacks, things like that. And I'm gonna have it all with me. With a lovely bag of Fritos though. Oftentimes you're gonna be carrying your sandwich in something like this, Tupperware. And I really suggest that you get good Tupperware. That sounds like kind of a silly thing to say, but you want something that's gonna have a good seal, that's gonna be airtight. The next is water. So you will need the capacity to carry 6 to 8 liters of water while you are here. I have found the best way to carry that much water is in a bladder. There's several different kinds of bladders. Different companies make them. This particular one is made by MSR. It's called the Dromedary, and this is a 6-liter dromedary. They come in 4, 6, and 10-liter sizes, and they're actually 3 different thicknesses of the bag itself, which is dictated by the color. So there is a clear one, which is the weakest, though they're still quite good. This red one is the medium thickness, and then they have them in black or gray, and that's really, really thick. And they're very strong, and they hold up really well. Osprey makes one of these, makes a bladder as well. You can also get them in Camelback, that's another company, as well as Platypus. They all make them. And this is one of my suggestions for that. They can be very nice. They can be a little pricey. You go with the MSR model. You're looking $40 to $60 in price, and then the hose is actually sold separate, and I think that costs another $20. So it can be pricey, but they last really well. If you don't want to go with the bladder method, you can also get Nalgene's are very popular. You can also go with a hard plastic container, something like a Gatorade bottle or a Simply, like the Simply orange juice bottles work really well. What you want to avoid is using like a milk jug. It's not going to work well. The caps don't stay on well enough, and the plastic is thin, and they can crack and break in your bag, which is not what you're going to want. So there's a lot of options out there, but the water bladder option is probably your best. All right, so you have food, you have water. Your next essential is going to be your PPE, or personal protective equipment. So this will be provided by Ace. You don't need to get this yourself. And there are 3 main pieces. One is a hard hat. You'll receive this when you get here. A pair of all leather gloves and eye protection. Now, one note on eye protection: it will be provided to you by us. The actual lenses themselves can become scratched relatively easily, so I suggest getting something to slip your eye pro in to protect it. Sometimes, if nothing else, I'll even slip it into my gloves. But an old sock works, preferably clean, but they work pretty well. Also, on the side of this, it says Z87, and that means that it's certified eye protection, which is what yours will need to be. If you want to purchase your own eye protection, you're more than welcome, but it has to say Z87 on it. So things like glasses and sunglasses are not considered eye protection. It needs to be official. Fourth essential, I'm going to get this at the bottom of my bag here, is rain protection. So it rains here in Arizona, even though it's the desert. In fact, during the summer months, it rains a lot. So you need to have rain gear. It needs to go out with you every hitch. Even if the weather says it's going to be perfectly clear, you take your rain gear. Your rain gear consists of a rain coat and rain pants. Now, rain gear is one of those outdoor items that gets expensive quickly, but you kind of get what you pay for. So as the price goes up, the quality goes up. These are Mountain Hardwear. That's a nice brand of pants, and then this coat is actually an Army surplus coat, and it actually works really well. It's gotten through a lot of different storms. One thing to note about rain protection in general is that, similar to a rain fly on a tent, most of your rain coats, unless it's very expensive or very, very thick, is actually water resistant. And it's designed that the water hits it and it beads up and then rolls down the material and off. But for instance, your arms, if your arms are outstretched, you're working, you're doing something, over time the water that falls on that coat is going to seep through and your arms will become wet over time. But the nice thing is your torso is generally vertical, so that water is going to roll off that. And it's most important to keep your core warm and dry, so it works pretty well for that. There's a couple brands you can look at that are a little cheaper. I've heard that Frog Togs are very popular. They're not the best rain gear in the world, but it's a good one to start with. Now, there's a couple other things that I suggest you have in your pack. One that's nice to take is your headlamp. Now, we're never going to be working in the dark, but it's always a good safety measure just to keep it with you. You never know what's going to happen. And then the other thing that I highly suggest people carry with them is athletic tape. The reason that I suggest athletic tape is, especially if you haven't done a ton of hiking or you have new boots, oftentimes people will get blisters. And this is a great way to avoid blisters. Keep a little roll of this in your pack, you're hiking along, you start to get a hot spot on your feet. You pull this out, take your boots off, take your socks off, slap a bit of tape on it. That's going to reduce the friction section of the boot, and it will hopefully limit your ability to get blisters. If you use this regularly, you can generally avoid blisters completely, and then you don't have to deal with them, with the moleskin and the pain afterwards. Boots are one of those things that can be really expensive, or you can pay 30 bucks for a pair and it'll be ruined in a week. I suggest somewhere in the $100 range, 100 to 150 for a nice pair of boots. Also, we highly recommend all leather boots. Some of the jobs that we do here, including chainsaw work, crosscut work, require you to have all leather boots, but I think it's a very good type of boot to use across the board. I brought two different styles here. Both are all leather, as you can see. This style of boot, this is called like a logger boot. These are very popular with sawyers. Firefighters also generally tend to wear a boot like this. They're not great to hike extended distances in. They're pretty aggressive, they can be quite heavy, but they're really good, especially if you were to be working off of a trail. The heel is actually designed to dig into the hillside and give you purchase. Now, these are completely leather, exterior and interior, and they have no liner. They are great in the summer because they breathe relatively well, but in the winter they can be absolutely frigid. And even thick socks doesn't tend to help with that. But they have their pros and cons for sure. Now this is more of a crossover. It's all leather, but it's more of a hiking boot. These are going to be much more comfortable if you have long distances to hike, but they still have a nice good ankle support, and they're also waterproof as well, as long as you keep them oiled. Any leather boot you'll need to oil occasionally. The other thing to note about these is they do have a liner. So these are going to be a little bit warmer for winter projects. And in the heat of the summer, they might not be as great because your feet are going to sweat, which is not what you're looking for. You can get hiking boots. There's hiking boots out there that have a lot of mesh in them. Yes, they do breathe better, but they're not going to give you the kind of protection that either kind of boot, either of these boots would give you. So that's something to keep in mind when you're looking at boots. And then the other thing I have here is work pants. So you can spend a bunch of money on work pants, or you can go to a secondhand store and probably find something there. That is definitely my suggestion. You will go through a pair of work pants with your time in ACE. We're hard on clothes. You're gonna be out and working, doing manual labor, working with rocks. Rocks act like sandpaper sometimes, so they can really tear up pants. So this is a pretty standard work pant that a lot of our folks like to use. You notice it has the double knee, so it has the extra layer. So these are going to be much more hardy. They're going to hold up a little longer. They're also going to be heavier, warmer, and a little stiffer. So if you have a project that's going to be hiking intensive, these might not be as comfortable to hike long distances in. The other pair I have here, these are both also Carhartts, by the way, but Dickies makes nice work pants, Arborwear makes nice work pants, and there's a bunch of other brands out there as well. But you don't need to buy $70 work pants. In fact, I wouldn't suggest it. Again, secondhand stores are going to be your best friend when it comes to that. But this style of work pant is more of a canvas. It's a little bit thinner. These are going to be better for longer hiking, but they might not hold up as well as the gray pair underneath. So if you had a pair like this, you might think, yes, it's more comfortable, but you might have to replace them more. So those are two things to keep in mind when you're looking at work pants.